Hello everyone. Welcome to my Thursdays at 3 here on Facebook. Okay, get that muted. And while I wait for y'all to join me, I'm just going to share this on my personal Facebook page. Here. There we go. I'm getting the hang of this. All right. Okay, I'm live and I'm on the right page and everything looks good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start taking care of a little bit of housekeeping while I wait for you guys to jump in. I said I wasn't going to move that, and okay, sorry guys. Which way? Because there's a delay. Okay, well, I hope I'm straight. So I shared with you last week, I believe, the Color Your Season limited edition bundle. It's a stamp set with framelits that is available until August 31st or while supplies last. Let's see, here is, I do have the actual stamp set and framelits to show you this time. So let me just grab those. Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. Oh my gosh. Yeah, all day, every day. Anyway, so it's a red rubber set. It has 12 stamps in it. You can order it in clear mount or wood mount. You can also order it as a bundle with the framelits. There are 10 dies, and the dies are amazing. The dies is worth it alone. And when you bundle those two together and use that bundle code, you save 10%. And then we also have a watercolor pencils assortment too. So we've just got 10 brand new colors to add to our watercolor pencils. Okay, we're done with that one. Here's the stamp set. It does come in 2 cases. And it's all blended seasons, and it's for all seasons. There's a miss you and congrats, and for friend, thank you, wishing you all the best, Merry Christmas. It covers quite a bit of seasons, obviously, and it's a really great set. I like it. The neatest part about it are these framelits. It's got these 3 different layering label dies. Reminds me a lot of, we had lots of labels dies, and then this was before my time, but other people are saying it kind of reminds them of a top note die that we have. I don't know what that is. That was before my time. But the cool thing about these 3 labels themselves is it's got double stitching. So it cuts out stitching around your framelits like our stitch shapes do, but then it also leaves a stitch pattern around the outside, around the negative piece. And I can show you that a little bit closer here. So here I've die cut using the smallest label, and you can see it's got the stitching all the way around, which is beautiful. But then look at the piece that it left behind. And you could totally use this on a card. And you've got that stitching that goes all the way around. Isn't that cool? I love it. And then here's just the one with, this hasn't made it onto a card yet, but this is about as far as I've gotten. But here's just the next size up, and you can see how they layer really nicely. Yeah, very pretty. And then, you know, there's a couple of leaves and sprigs and some, I don't know what those are, little just doohickeys. I have no idea. There's a bow and then there's this really pretty flower. And the stamped image that it cuts out is the bell. So this is the only image that coordinates with these framelits as far as stamping and then be able to die cut it out. Okay, so there's that. And with all that being said, that's actually what we're going to work on today. We are going to make a card with that. Let me get a couple more things. So each week I give a prize for when you comment and share on my video. I appreciate it so much, and I love reading all your comments, and I appreciate you sharing. So last week I said I was giving away the Sweet Soiree Memories and More card pack, and she's not on here yet, but if she's not, Terry Lynn, you are the winner. And I will contact you through a messenger unless you happen to get on here while we're live today. And so for next week, all you have to do is comment and share my video, and I'm giving away a pack of Baker's Twine in Basic Black. It's an easy way to add an extra little something to your card without having to add a whole lot of layers or bulkiness. And adding this onto your cards is more than likely is not going to add any more postage than normal. Okay, so let's see. Next, I have a special running right now through, I believe, let's see, August 15th is the deadline. So if you order this bundle in my online store and use this host code for August, I will mail you a free card kit. 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. Plus you'll also get 10 PDF tutorials sent to you as well. And so all you have to do is order the bundle in my online store and then use that host code, and I'll automatically send you the card kit and the PDFs. So make sure you've got a good email address in your Stampin' Up! Profile so that I can get that to you. Okay, I'm also going to be having a live class featuring this whole suite or the whole bundle on August 22nd, and you can look for more information about that. I'll put a post here on my page if you wanted to come to a live class on the 22nd. And let me see. Another special that's going on with Stampin' Up! Right now, it's actually a challenge for demonstrators to sell ink pads. So with what I'm going to be doing with it, with every ink pad that you purchase in my online store, it's going to enter you into a drawing, and the winner is going to win all of my Facebook Live projects for July. So we did the thank you card. This was my very first Facebook Live, and then we did the Rooted in Nature. And then we worked with some more designer series paper. That's pretty petal promenade paper. And then last week we made this cute little bag in a box. So with each ink pad you get purchased, you get 1 ticket into the drawing, and the winner of the drawing is going to receive these 4 projects from me. Okay, next on my list. I am so super excited about this one. I am going to be doing a live bingo, Stampin' Bingo event at the end of this month on August 31st. I'm super excited about it. It's my first one that I've done, but I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to be tons of fun. So I hope that you will join me for that. Again, you can look for more details for that on my blog, and I will also link to that post and information on the Facebook page, okay? Let's see. I also am fixing to release a card class to go. We're going to be using the Varied Vases bundle. And that you can look for on my blog tomorrow. And then I'll also link back to the post here too. That way you can have, you can make sure to find that. And it'll have all the deadlines and the details and the cost and all of that. Stampin' Up! Has their bonus day special going on right now. So every $50 that you spend in my online store, you get a $5 coupon emailed to you from Stampin' Up! That you can use for next month. which you could use on purchasing your wish list items from the holiday catalog. So that's cool. So that's another reason to make sure that you have access to an email address. And when they send you those codes, you need to save them somewhere because they are not replaceable. Stampin' Up! Does not keep track of those. Once they're sent, it's your responsibility. So just make sure that you create a folder or something and save those until you can start using them September 1st. The holiday catalog goes live September 5th. And there's no limit on how many you can earn. And then in September, there's no limit on how many you can use in a single purchase. So if you end up with $50 worth of coupons, you can order $50 worth of stuff out of the holiday catalog for free. The other thing is, okay, this is the last one. So Paper Pumpkin special right now is half off to new subscribers. The deadline is tomorrow. It's always by the 10th of the month to get that current month's kit. So you could get August's kit for just $10 by simply signing up with a new email address that you haven't used for Paper Pumpkin before. And everyone that signs up and chooses me as their demonstrator by tomorrow, August 10th, will be entered to win. I'm giving away a Paper Pumpkin kit. This is a brand new kit. It's a full kit too, so it's got the stamp pad and the ink. And I will announce that on August 11th. Okay, I think I've done enough talking. My goodness. Let's get stamping. Okay, there's my prizes. We'll put that there. Okay. So along with the Blended Seasons stamp set and those Stitch Seasons framelits, we're going to be using the Subtle embossing folder. This is my new favorite go-to folder. I love it. It's a 6x6, so you can get lots of larger embossed pieces with it, and it's also one of our dynamic folders. So remember, you only use one plate when you use these dynamic embossing folders, and it makes it the cardstock look like it's textured when you emboss this folder. It's really pretty. Okay, we're going to be using the Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper. This is in our annual catalog. You can order this right now to go along and with your Blended Seasons set. This is a part of a paper share that I'm still working with, but it's really, really pretty. Lots of greens, lots of different green choices, and I just love it. It's real red, old olive, there's shaded spruce in here, there's early espresso. Look at how fun that one is with the deer. And I think I'm repeating now. And I love this one, it's so pretty. And then look at those ornaments on the background, just pretty. So that's the paper we're using today. And here is the card we're gonna make. We've got Early Espresso card base, which is cut to, it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. This is our Whisper White layer that I've gone ahead and I've already embossed it for us, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have a piece of the Designer Series paper, which is 1 by 5 1/4. Another piece of Early Espresso. This is 3/4 by I think it was like 3 or a little bit over. You can make, it doesn't matter how long it is, as long as it's at least 3 inches or so, because then we're just going to trim it off and it's going to be covered underneath that bell. And then you'll just need some scraps of Whisper White, and I used Old Olive for these leaves. And then I've got some of these fun metallic pearls on here as well. And we're going to do embossing again. Okay, so let's get out our... The other thing I didn't tell you, here's those pearls that we're using. They come in silver and in gold, metallic pearls. And then we're also using this pretty 1/8 inch real red solid ribbon. Really pretty. Okay, let's get all that out of the way. Our card base. Let me put this up here, see maybe you can kind of see it as you're joining me. This is for embossing. This is where we're going to color. I went ahead and stamped the images. That way I knew the ink was dry. And then you can also need a piece, another piece that's exactly the same size, 4 by 5 1/4 to put on the inside because we're using a dark colored card. Okay. let's go ahead and fold our card base in half on that score line that we created. You want to make a score line for that fold. Helps to prevent any cracking with the cardstock, which I don't normally experience, but I also don't fold a card without using a score line. Okay, let's go ahead and do our embossing first. We've got our Merry Christmas stamp here, and I've got my embossing buddy, and we're using gold embossing powder. Got that ready. Let's get our embossing buddy out, and this just helps to eliminate any fingerprints or oils, you know, from your fingers that might get on here, and that the embossing powder would probably stick to. So that's just why you want to run that across, okay? And now we've got our Versamark ink. Looks like a watermark. It's just it's a clear, sticky ink. It's going to give something for that embossing powder to stick to. Oops, there we go. And I'm going to stamp this over to the right-hand side and then just get it centered without getting my head in the shot. There we go. And I just always like to count 5 Mississippis, just to make sure that that ink has transferred. Okay, so pretty. And then we're just gonna take it, put it in my little tub here. These are just from the Dollar Tree. I love these tubs. You sprinkle it over and kind of tap on the back and take a look. And I always like to just go over it a second time just to make sure that we've covered all of that ink, and then just give the back a good flick to kind of help get rid of some of that extra. And that looks good. Okay, so we can put this away now. Always put your powder away, or at least close it before you turn on the heat tool. Otherwise it'll blow everywhere. Ask me how I know that. It's not fun cleaning up embossing powder. I mean, it's everywhere. Okay, now I did heat up my my heat tool before the video, but let's see if it's still. You just want to heat it up before you put it down in your project. It'll help with your cardstock warping, curling. It doesn't take but a second to get hot, and it is super hot. And I've left this kind of long so I had something to hold on to it. But then when it's warm too, you won't leave it on the project for very long, and see, you can already start to see it change. So there it's melting the embossing powder. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite things to do. This is what got me hooked with stamping. When I first saw this, somebody showed it, and I couldn't believe it. There we go, and that's it. So now that has melted our embossing powder. Put that away. We'll let that cool for a minute. I'm not going to color everything in front of you guys. I didn't figure you'd really want me to sit here and watch me color a whole lot. So I'm just going to give you an idea of what I did. I've got Real Red and Daffodil Delight watercolor pencils, and I have my blender pen. I've stamped this in our StazOn ink because we're going to be using we're using watercoloring. Although we're not using the aqua painters, we're using the blender pens, but you still need to use the StazOn with a blender pen. And all you're going to do is just come in here and color. And it doesn't matter if you have, I mean, you want to try to stay in the lines. I went out a little bit there, but that'll be okay. You don't want to press real hard with these. And you almost kind of want to get a flat end on your pencil. Let's see if y'all can see that. I'm not sure you can see that. You don't want to color with them straight up and down with a point, because you don't want to make marks in your paper. So I've just kind of colored to where it kind of gets a flat edge on one side. And then you're just going to fill it in, and it doesn't matter if you've got uneven strokes. That's what the blender pen's for. And then once I have it all filled in, then I like to kind of go in where the shading would be, and that would kind of be like right here under this piece. And then maybe along up in here, just making it a little darker. I'm pushing a little harder than I did, but again, I'm not pushing with that point. I've got the blunt end on here. And I've got a little bit right in there. Okay, and then we're gonna come back in, and I'm gonna do the same thing with this yellow. I'm just gonna color it all in. You don't have to be neat about it, just stay in the lines. And I think that there would probably be shadows down in here, so I'm gonna press a little harder, right down in here, and then maybe like up right in here, there would be a shadow. Okay, so let me just blend this out for you really quick, and then all you're gonna do is just make little swirlies and go over that area, and it will smooth out all those pencil lines. And I've used Whisper White thick cardstock here, so I'm able to, look, I just got out of the line right there. I can't talk and color at the same time apparently. By using this watercolor, or the Whisper White thick cardstock, I'm able to go over this, you know, a few times, more than, like if I had just used the regular Whisper White, you couldn't really go over it more than about once, because it'll tear the paper. Okay, so now that I'm switching from red to yellow, I'm just gonna run my blender pen across, you know, just a scratch piece of paper. Now I can go into my yellow, and the same thing, we're just going to blend out all of those lines here. Okay, when you get the idea. And you could go back, I would probably want this a little darker, and you can just go back and you can color in and add some more color as you like, because obviously you can always add more color. You can't really take it away. So that's how I did that. And then I also used some scraps of old olive to cut a few of the leaves here. Okay, and then I just I die cut those, and then I die cut out the bell. Now we're gonna do a little surgery on this bell. Let's see, which one do I think looks better. I think that one looks better. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna layer these two on top of each other, but I don't want all of that background stuff to be there. So what I did was I'm just gonna cut off part of this right here. Okay, and then I'm going to come down this side and cut off all of that too. Let me just make sure that I cut off enough. Yeah. So I've cut off pretty much just the sides of the bell, and then this one is going to layer just right on top of here. And I liked the look of that. So let's go ahead and grab our glue dots. Easiest way to attach this. And I'm just gonna press onto that glue dot, pick it up, and get this lined up how I want it. Okay. And we might as well add our little leaves here. What I ended up doing for the other one is I cut off this one right here. Okay, and then I just trimmed that. We don't need all that. And now we've got a glue dot back there, so kind of put two off going that way, and then one going off over here, or however you like it. You could even use the other, you know, the other little part. That might be cute too. This is just what I wanted for my card. Okay, let's see. Let's get the rest of this put together now. Get rid of our trash. Let me bring in my silicone mat, because I'm using liquid glue and it just seems to go everywhere. And I don't even squeeze that hard. It just takes a little bit, but sometimes it just seems like I'm still using too much. But you just need a really thin line to go down. I like this because you can get right up into those edges after I've kind of spread some of that glue out. Then I just take the tip of it without squeezing anymore, and I just kind of move it to the sides. No more glue is coming out. I'm just spreading that around to my corners and my sides. Let's see. And then this is gonna go right, let me do it this way. Right up to the edge, and it's gonna run the full length of this embossed panel. So before I get it down real good, I just wanna make sure that I've got it even right there. It goes all the way to the end, and now we can smush it down. There we go. Okay. And this piece, like I said, it was from the 6x6 pieces from that paper share, so I just left it at, it's 1 inch by 6 is what I did, but we're gonna end up cutting this off. So you really only need, the length of the card is 5 1/4. So we'll just cut that one off. And let's add, let me see, I'm gonna close this up right now. I'm going to add in our ribbon. And let's see. And I'm just gonna take it and wrap it around the back. And I always secure my ribbon around the back with just some Scotch tape. And I certainly don't want it coming apart when I send it in the mail. Okay, and then let's just make sure we're buttoning this right up against where that piece of designer paper meets the cardstock. Okay. And then before we put it onto the front, oh goodness, well, that's okay, we're good. Okay, we're just going to add this layer before we put this onto the card. That way we can get it trimmed easier. So I just kind of say, okay, I'm gonna have the bell go about right there, and I want to make sure that my Christmas doesn't hang off, but goes almost right to the edge. Okay, so we're gonna get the liquid glue back out. This is the side. It'll be on the edge. Get that spread around. Okay, and then I think I'll have it go. I didn't measure how high up I put this. I just kind of eyeballed it. Let's see, I can measure it. This one, well, let's see, 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 would be right here. Oh, and you know what? I put it underneath too. So, there we go. So you don't want to run glue along the whole thing because you don't want to get it on your the designer paper that's right there. Okay, we can smush that down, and then all I'm gonna do is kind of move that ribbon out of the way a little bit, and I'm just gonna cut this off. Okay, there we go. And that looks straight to me. Let me fix our ribbon just a little, and we can go ahead and, oops, get over here. That's supposed to go on top. There we go. Okay, and now I'm just gonna turn this back. I'm gonna turn it over, and I'm just gonna trim this off, just like we did with that designer paper. Okay. It makes it a little easier too than, you know, you're trying to stamp right exactly on that edge. Give yourself a little bit of room, you know, to work with it. Don't make it harder on yourself. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and lay this panel down flat onto our card base. I'm popping up those bells, and I probably am going to be mailing this, so I'm hoping that by laying this piece down flat, I won't have to pay extra postage, but you never know, but that's okay. They're Christmas cards. I like to make fancy Christmas cards for special people and family. And then of course I do a massive bulk Christmas card making every year too. And I can't do them all fancy. As many as I make, I can't do those all fancy. But this is a little fancier. And it's got some of that gold embossing, and we're going to do those fun metallic pearls on there. This is just it's an eraser. I've got some extra glue hanging out that was on that silicone sheet. Okay. All right, now we're just gonna put our cap on our glue. We're done with these. And let me get some dimensionals here. Come on, here we go. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I put one dimensional right over those leaves to give it some extra security. And then I'm going to put one right there. Remember, if you push in to the back of that, that paper will lift right up, and you just pull that off. And I'm going to set this. I think right there. I like it right there. Okay, now all we have to do is add our metallic pearls. And we're going to put in all right, maybe right there. Okay. I always have trouble putting that last one. I get the first two on there and then I'm like, where do I put the other one? Well, and there you have it. That's a fun, pretty quick and simple Christmas card. I could probably, do a little mass production and make, 10 or 20 of these in probably no time at all. Using the Blended Seasons bundle, along the Blended Season stamp set along with those Stitch Season framelets. And remember, that's it's only available while supplies last or until August 31st, whichever comes first. So again, if you want to order that bundle in my online store, make sure you use this host code and I will send you a free card kit in the mail to make 6 cards. And hey Cheryl, I've just finished up and was doing a little bit of housekeeping reminders. Okay, so that's the information about the Color Your Season stamp set. And don't forget to be looking for information on my bingo and my varied basis card class to go. And I'm also going to be posting a link for a live card class using this bundle. The class will be August 22nd. Hey Terry Lynn, you're just in time. You won the drawing. You were the winner this week. Let me see, where's your prize? Here it is. You won the Sweet Soiree Memories and More card pack. So congrats to you, Terry Lynn. If you will message me your address, I will get this in the mail to you. All right. Well, I will post this video as soon as I end the live feed so that you can rewatch it. And I thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing y'all again next Thursday.